Hey everybody, Omar here, the Knife Shark Guy, and I am back with another Kershaw discontinued piece. This is number 2 in a continuing series of Holy Grail projects. Holy Grail projects, once again, they are very, very special knives. They are knives to show you the best capabilities that a company can make a knife. And the next knife that I'm going to show you, like the tilt in my last video, pretty much is that as well. But before I get into that knife, I wanted to show you a knife that many of you guys have seen before. Now, this knife is also discontinued, and it's actually kind of rare itself. This is and I'll do an official video on this knife. I just haven't done it yet. This is the Kershaw Speedform 3550, made in the USA. It's an LMAX knife. It's a really small LMAX knife. It's really kind of cool. It's a manual folder. So you guys have seen that. It's called the Speedform 2. Well, you guys are saying to yourselves, now, if this is the Speedform 2, is there a Speedform 1? I have news for you. There is a Speedform 1, and the Speedform 1 is so rare, there are barely any specs on it, but I did find some on, I think, Knife Center, limited specs on it, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that knife out now, right? So you guys can take a look at it. This is the Speedform 1. Okay. Now, the price difference in both these knives are ridiculous. I mean, this knife, you could probably pick this up for, well, because it's a discontinued piece. I don't know. I've seen it online anywhere between like $125 to like $185. You know, it's a rare knife, and it's an awesome piece to own. However, it is nowhere near as rare as this guy. Now, this knife comes in the same red box as the tilt. I'm not going to bring it out because, you know, you've seen the box before. However, this knife is incredibly, incredibly rare, and I am so happy to have this piece. Once again, I want to thank my friend Mike for supplying me with this beautiful piece. I am so happy that he helped me to deplete myself of my funds, because he's been a real buddy. So once again, Mike, thanks for my Speedform 1. Now, on with the show. So, as you guys have seen, it looks very similar to the Speedform 1, but I'm going to bring out the Speedform 2. I'm going to bring out the Speedform 2 again, so you guys can take a look at the size difference, because a lot of people have talked about this knife and said, oh, it's the same exact size as the Speedform 1, and it's not, as you can see. So, in fact, let's go ahead and bring out the specs for this. This won't take too long, guys, I promise, because they don't have very many specs on it. But whatever they have online, I'll make sure you guys can see that. So the Speedform 1 is a composite blade, and it features 2 awesome composite steels. The top part of the blade is D2. Now, what's weird is that D2 itself is an amazing cutting edge, but on this knife, they use it for strength. They use it for strength, and the bottom part of the knife is LMAX. Unlike the Speedform 2, 3550, it's all LMAX. And I love LMAX. It's one of my favorite steels. So the handle is CNC machined titanium. It is a frame lock. Okay. The blade length is 3.375 inches. Closed length is 4.75 inches. And the weight is 5.2. So let's take a look at this guy. You take a look at this knife, it looks very similar to the Speedform 2, except it's a lot larger. What I love, first thing you notice about this knife is the composite blade itself. So now many of you guys know about composite blades. They are 2 steels melded together with brazed copper in this case. And in here you can see the copper running a straight line across the knife. But again, here's what looks cool. The knife is kind of angled here, so you'd think that this top part of the knife is white, and the bottom part of the knife is like darker in color, but that's actually not. That's just the light hitting the handle. And it just looks so awesome because it actually looks like the top part of the blade kind of matches the top part, or, you know, if you hold it at the light, it kind of matches either the top part of the knife, or the way I'm holding it angularly, looks like this part here matches this part. And then this part up down here, the Elmex part, matches this part up here. That just looks so cool. But then, of course, if you angle it up, now it's kind of separated. Now this looks like this matches this, and this matches that. So I kind of like that kind of color shift in the light. That looks really awesome. It's one of the big cool things I love about this knife. Just like the tilt, guys. The tilt. The last knife the last video that I showed you, it looks very futuristic looking, doesn't it? I mean, straight line, even more straight line, even more futuristic looking than the Speedform 2. The Speedform 2 looks more classic than this futuristic looking Back to the Future type knife. I mean, it just looks futuristic. Everything about it, including the pocket clip. Look at that. It's a straight line, right? A straight line. It's got kind of like that racing car look, or I don't know. It just looks like the knife was made to look very futuristic. The knife is incredibly smooth. I will say this, however, if you look at my thumb, there's like a little cut right there. That's because these thumb studs here, they have these, I'll hold it up to the camera, they have these like grooves in them that if you keep flicking it, it's going to rip your skin apart. That is one main complaint for me. I actually have to shift my thumb around just to open it. It does hurt. That's the only huge complaint I have about it. It's not a comfortable knife to flip, but however, it does flip out very smoothly. The main thing about this knife is the look. I mean, it is just one long, linear look on this piece. All titanium frame lock knife. Very tight tolerances, very smooth. If you look at the back spacer, it almost looks like it's an integral piece, but actually it's not. There's the screws right there, right? And of course there's the back spacer, but the way it feels kind of like it's an integral piece, kind of like the Benchmade Anthem almost. It feels that way. It feels like it's all one piece because the back spacer goes from the top all the way down to the bottom. And the reason I say that is because, again, the coloration on it, it just looks so solid for a knife. Incredibly solid. The centering on this guy is perfect, as you can see. That is just perfect centering right there. Dead on. Just fantastic. Very smooth knife. There really isn't much to say about it. It is a collector's piece. These knives, they were made, I'm going to say, like right around 2010 in very limited quantities. I don't even know how many of these they made. I got serial number 105. I don't know how many of these they made, guys. I'm going to guess it was around 300 of these floating around. Again, this is a Halo Project piece, and from this sprang the Speedform 2. So when they 86'd this project, they decided to make it available for everybody in the smaller version, Speedform 2 and all LMAX. Very similar. This knife, however, has G10 on it, as compared to the all titanium piece. This is an incredibly rare knife. That's basically the reason why I'm showing it to you. It's just incredibly rare to find this knife. Like I said, you don't even see specs on this knife, really. They don't have much to talk about on it. It's one of those really cool knives that if you found it and you saw it, you got one, and then marketing-wise, it just fizzled away. And I think that's kind of too bad. Because it's a composite blade. Plus, the main thing about the knife is the composite blade itself. I've never seen D2 on top and LMAX on the bottom. I've never seen that combination before. I mean, D2 is a cutting-edge knife, and here they use it for strength. So Yeah, I mean, it's a very smooth knife. Like I said, it hurts to open it. Now, not now, because I found a different angle in which I can open it. But the way you open it is you shoot your thumb straight up. If any of you guys have a discontinued Storm, you know what I'm talking about. The knife is very smooth piece. I'm having difficulty doing it in one shot because I have to find the angle. There you go, to open it. But there you have it. It's just a beautiful looking knife. Really fantastic. Love the way this thing looks. I would love to carry this in my pocket every day, man. It's just a fantastic piece. Again, very futuristic looking. I don't, Kershaw was doing different things back then, and this is only like, what, 10 years ago? But again, this is a premonition of the zero tolerance that's to come. I mean, this could easily pass for a zero tolerance knife. Easily could pass. I mean, it's all titanium. It's incredibly smooth. It's got tight tolerances. The steel is really good to go with that LMAX and that D2. Yeah, I mean, I could see this in the zero tolerance lineup. And that's probably what Kershaw was doing at the time that they made this knife and the tilt and the third knife that I'm going to show you, which I'm absolutely incredibly happy to show you. So this is it. Holy Grail project number 2, the Speedform 1, a very rare piece. Again, they made very limited quantities and it just fizzled away. I don't know why that happened. Maybe it was a marketing problem, but I am incredibly happy to have this piece in my collection also. So let's go ahead and do some size comparisons real quick with other knives. I'm pretty much going to close it because I don't know what else to talk about with this piece. Again, let's put it up against the Numzon. So it's roughly about, I mean, what's weird is that it's roughly about the same size as the Numzon. Okay, but because the way the blade is shaped, it's probably a slightly smaller, I don't know. Yeah, slightly smaller than the Numzon, blade-wise. Let's go ahead and put it up against the ZT 0900. Spyderco Swiss Bowie. Here's a different one. How about the small Nkosi? So as you can see, it's a medium-sized to large knife. I call it a large knife, basically. It is a big knife, but because it's so sleek and the way it's designed, you think it's a small knife. Unlike the tilt, which is this big, gigantic monster of a knife, I mean, that's, again, the tilt towers over every knife I've ever freaking owned for size. But that's a large knife in itself. Finally, how about the large Sebenza 21? So there you go. Give you an idea of the size. It's almost the same size as the large Sebenza 21. So it makes it a big knife. Yeah. I mean, the knife is very futuristic. Like I said, the coolest thing about the knife is the way the color shifts on the light. You know what I mean? That looks really cool on it. Again, all titanium. So there you have it. The Kershaw Speedform 1. One of those like lost archive beauties. Again, Kershaw put it out. People bought it. No one ever really talked about it much, and then it just fizzled away. I don't know why. Unlike the next knife that I'm going to show you, which, believe it or not, there are some real similarities between this knife and the next knife I'm going to show you. In fact, they're twin knives, and I'm going to show you the other one later and bring this one out again. So there you have it, the Kershaw Speedform 1 3500. For your viewing pleasure. The price of this knife, yeah, it's like right around tilt price. because it's so limited quantity. People actually don't even remember this piece. I certainly didn't. When I heard about it, or when I saw it, or when I found out it was available, Mike had one. He just gave me one. I vaguely didn't even really remember it. Even what it looked like or what the seals were comprised of. I just completely forgot. So this is one of those lost Halo projects, I guess. Kershaw Speedform 1. Never really talked about it. So anyway, this is Omar the Knife Shark Guy signing off, hoping that you will find your next piece of sharp art. Hope you'll find this in your collection, and I'm going to see you one more time for this final evening as I close out my Holy Grail collection for now. There is one more, there's two more Holy Grail projects out there. One of those knives I've already done, which was the Kershaw Whisper. That was the other Holy Grail project, but it's really not a Holy Grail project. It's really a collectible knife. So I wanted to separate those two. But yeah, there are 5 knives that came out that were very special. And when I mean special, they came out in either very limited quantities, or they came with like a display case or some kind of a special box. Showing that it's an anniversary knife or something. Those would be collectibles. This is more of a Holy Grail project, or in this case, a lost Holy Grail project. So there you go, the Speedform 1. Omar the Knife Shark Guy signing off. Please leave your comments below regarding this knife. Just so you know, once again, let's get another shot at the other knife that looks similar to, which is the 3550 LMAX Speedform 2. There you go, Speedform 1 and 2. Probably never seen both those on camera, so I'll close it out with that. And once again, have a good evening, folks. This is Omar the Knife Shark Guy signing off, hoping you'll find your next piece of these 2 sharp arts in your collection. Thanks so much and have a great evening. I'll see you in a little bit with my next knife. Remember, it looks kind of similar to this one right here. Catch you later.